Hello everyone, I am Priyanka Verma and today in this video I'll discuss about the basics of automotive. So in this video I will cover the introduction to automotive world along with the basic or the major car components. So let's begin. Introduction. So the automotive industry began in 1860s. The year 1886 is regarded as the birth year of modern car. That's when the German inventor Carl Benz patented his Benz patent motorwagen. Why 1886? Is because that's the first time practical automobile was it went to the series of production. So it is marked as the birth year. So and today the leading companies like Volkswagen, Tesla, General Motors, Ford, etc. are making the latest technology-enabled cars with advanced driver assistance systems. And there can be many types of cars like a totally electric car, a hybrid car, or the traditional a diesel or petrol engine car. We'll see them in details in further slides. So we begin with the basic or major car components. Although an automobile has several number of parts, but the four essential components of the automobile are chassis, engine, the transmission system, and the body. Apart from these four essential parts of the automobile, there are controls and auxiliaries. The controls are meant for controlling the movement of the vehicle, and the auxiliaries are additional components meant for providing comfort to the user of the automobile. So firstly, we'll see chassis. So what you see here, the big picture on your screen is the vehicle chassis. It houses a running gear, engine, transmission, driver shaft, differential and suspension. The easiest way to remember or understand a chassis is like you can think of it as the skeleton of the car. Okay, so moving forward, here we have the engine. So firstly, what is an engine? It is a machine that is designed to convert one form of energy into mechanical energy. So in heat engines convert heat into work via various thermodynamic processes. The internal combustion engine is the most common example of a heat engine, in which the heat from the combustion of the fuel causes rapid pressurization of the gaseous combustion products in the combustion chamber, causing them to expand because of heat, and this expansion causes the drive of the piston here. So when the piston drives, it turns a crankshaft here, and this is how it's converted into movement. Whereas electric motors here, they convert the electric energy into mechanical motion. So what we see here on the left hand side is the very basic and the most commonly used in previous days. It can be a diesel engine or a petrol engine or another kind of like gasoline engine. So it has the traditional parts which we previously had, like valves, spark plug, camshaft, alternator, the distributor, and these kind of parts. Whereas today a modern car has battery. It's battery operated. It's an electric car. So basically one of the major components is the battery, its charger, the charging port, and then the thermal cooling system because of the heat produced due to electrical transmission. Then it has the DC-DC converter, the power electric controller, and many other parts, which we'll see later on. So moving on from engine to the transmission system or powertrain. So what is a powertrain? In a motor vehicle, the powertrain consists of the source of propulsion, that can be engine or the electric motor, and the drivetrain system, which transfers the energy into forward movement of the vehicle. So basically it consists of two parts: the source of the power, for example the engine, and the component that converts that power into movement. So now it can be the transmission of this energy can be done in three ways: automatic transmission, manual transmission, and continuously variable transmission. So firstly, we will see the manual transmission. So the transmission is the part of your vehicle that transfers the power generated by your engine to the axles. The axles will turn the wheels and which makes your vehicle go. As you can see, it's pretty important, but not all transmissions are same. There are three basic types of transmissions which are mentioned here. So firstly, I'll discuss about the manual transmission. So manual transmission, it's the standard transmission or a stick shift. It's a type of transmission that utilizes a driver operated clutch to regulate the torque transfer from from the engine to the transmission. The clutch is typically engaged or disengaged by a foot pedal or a hand lever because they are the simplest, mechanically speaking, of all three types of transmissions. They also have the longest lives because there is a less to go wrong, and they're also often, they offer the best fuel economy, and the manual transmission vehicles are typically a bit cheaper. So the next one we are going to discuss is the automatic. Manual transmissions, which we discussed earlier, are mechanically simpler because they are more complex to use, being mechanical. Many drivers either don't know how to drive a totally mechanical thing like a manual transmission, or do not like the extra work involved in it. For such drivers, the best type of transmission is automatic transmission. This type of transmission can automatically change the gear ratios as the vehicle moves, meaning the driver does not have to shift the gears manually. So the next we are going to cover here is the continuously variable transmission. It is also known as the shiftless transmission. It is a variant of automatic transmission that can change seamlessly through a continuous range of effective gear ratios as opposed to a fixed number of gear ratios. So this CVT is belt-driven design and offers approximately 88% of efficiency, which is quite lower than that of a manual transmission. But this can be an offset as the production cost of the CVT is considerably lower as compared to manual transmission or the other kind. And it enables the engine to run at its most efficient speed for a range of output speeds. So yeah, this is about the transmission system. And then the last comes the body. The body of the car can change variably. It can be a sports car or a normal car or a police car, and there can be many types. So the parts also can change. The basic parts are the lights, the doors, windshield, or the sunroof. All of it changes according to the type of the body required by the user. So for example, the police car will have additional lights and a normal car doesn't. And there are a lot of variations available. Some of the parts of the body are very essential, and some of the body parts are for the comfort of the user. So essential ones will have the doors, the lights, and the comfort ones will be a little different. For example, somebody want additional lights, like sometimes people add different lights on the rooftops, and the another comfort comes with the roof. People have sunroof, and there are many other scenarios in which all these can change. For now, you can understand body as the body of the car, which we see, all the outer parts also, and some interior parts also. We'll discuss all these in detail in our coming slides. And yeah, I'll close this presentation here, and I welcome your suggestions and your questions or queries. I'll be happy to solve them. And thank you very much for listening to me so patiently.